Welcome, welcome to yet another beautiful day, another beautiful program. This is Humanist TV Africa, and of course, this is Kato Mukasa, who is your host today. And of course, in the studio is our producer, Dennis Bongole, who's based in Uganda, and of course, we have Brian Kabeko based in Nairobi. Remember, this is Humanist TV Africa, and we are spread all over Africa and beyond. And we are here to do the needful and give you a balanced information about so many things you don't know or you may know about, but you need to know more about. In the studio with me, I have my panelist who is sitting in to observe. That is Comrade Nandipu Bongfa from Nigeria. Nandipu, welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you very well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Comrade Kato.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Comrade brother.
Yes, sir. You are doing a very good work for the humanists in Africa. I really appreciate you. I'll remove my cap.
Thank you so much.
I cannot remove it, so I'll remove my cap for you.
It's okay.
Yes, you are a great man.
Thank you so much. I'm honored.
Yes, you are a great man. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now, today, that is my brother Nandip. Of course, those words of encouragement are making me feel stronger. And you guys make me keep on going. And I
keep on going, definitely.
I forget about practicing the law, and I keep on serving humanism.
That is the best.
Okay, that said, Mr. Nandip is our director at Humanist TV Africa, and of course, he's a panelist. You'll be seeing more of him from next week going onwards. But today, Nandip, I'm going to take the viewers through a history of Israel and Palestine conflict. I want to take our viewers into this history so that they can understand where does this problem come from. Now, we are going to start it like this. Ladies and gentlemen, today, all eyes are on Gaza. All eyes are on Gaza, and this program is called Sunday Musings by Kato Mukasa. Sunday Musings by Kato Mukasa, or with Kato Mukasa, and that is Israel-Palestine conflict I'm handling today in my Sunday Musings. Today I'm handling Israel-Palestine conflict. The program is called Sunday Musings. Musings simply are reflections where you come and talk about issues from a pragmatic, rational point of view. So every Sunday, you shall be having this program titled Sunday Musings. I'll be having, of course, panelists who are sitting in and then share ideas at the end of the day when I'm done with my point of view. Now, today, I'm going to be handling Israel-Palestine conflict. How does it begin? It doesn't begin today with the bombing of Gaza. This conflict can be traced so many years ago. It didn't start today. Now, I'm going to give a brief history. I can tell you the history of Israel as as a people, or the Jews as people know them, is so deep, goes back for so many years. Because the Bible, a holy book for Christians, basically creates the Jews as a favorite tribe, as a favorite kingdom of a certain God called Yahweh. Now that's the Bible. Yet the Jews don't believe in the Bible. The Jews have their book called Tanakh. And in the Tanakh, there are other books. One of the books which is well known is called Torah. Now, Torah is not the complete book of the Jews. The Jews' book is called Tanakh. The Torah is only part of the Tanakh. Now, the Tanakh clearly shows that the Jews or the people of Israel are the favorite of God's children. And now we can trace it from there. But again, I have to remind you that the Bible is mythological, is mythology. It has no concrete evidence. Yet in history, there is evidence that the Jew people have been there since time immemorial. They have existed. And they existed and they were conquered and they conquered and they were reconquered. Now, for many years, people called Jews have existed. And for many years, people called Jews have existed in a place called Levante.
Where is that?
It is in the present-day Middle East, where they are, but also beyond where they are. That the place covered Assyria or Syria, it covered Lebanon, it covered Jordan, and covered the present-day Palestine. It was a bigger place where they were. Now, because of wars, because of attacks from Syria, the attacks from the Ottoman Empire, the attacks from the Romans, and all that, the Israelites were weakened. At one time, they had a kingdom which was divided into two: the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel. Israel up, Judah and Israel were kingdoms that formed Israel. But these were kingdoms out of the 12 tribes. If you look at your Bible, there's what we call the 12 tribes, the sons of a favorite, the 12 tribes. You know, we get these 12 tribes, and then they are also split up into two. 10 tribes form their own kingdom, or call it a chiefdom. Another 10 tribes from their, 2 tribes from theirs. Now, 2 tribes, Israel. 10 tribes, Judah. Now,
how is that
possible? These groupings, there was Judah or Judea, and then there was Israel. Now, Israel actually was later on phased out due to conflict. Then Judea remained. Now, these people were there as Jews for a long time. They were powerful, but also they were being overrun by other tribes, by other kingdoms. Now, in 130 AD, I'll put it that way, 130 AD, the Romans under Emperor Adrian dominated Israel where they were, the Jews, and defeated them and slaughtered them. It was a slaughter. It was a total killing. Now, when they slaughtered them, they captured their area. The Romans captured their area under that Emperor Adrian, captured the area, and they took Israelites into captivity. Many Israelites ran away to the Middle East, or call it North Africa, not Middle East, North Africa. They ran away to Egypt. They ran away to
Tunisia,
those other countries, Ethiopia, Egypt, Tunisia. Yes. Of course, they ran away to
Algeria.
Yeah, they ran away because the Romans were so powerful. They came and slaughtered them. They said that in AD 130, they came and killed almost all the Jews that were found in that area, that they were cutting their stomachs open to get gold out of their stomachs. That the blood was
gold.
Sorry?
Are the Jews, are the Israelis eating goals?
They had gold. It is alleged that they were building a temple. They were so rich. Now the Romans attacked them under that emperor Adrian, and destroyed them. They were cutting their stomachs to get away riches. So they killed thousands and thousands of Jews. Now, those who survived ran away. And when they ran away, they became slaves in Assyria, they became slaves in Media,
Babylon,
they became slaves in Babylon, and all those other areas. So,
Asian countries.
exactly, it marked the end of the Jews as
Israel.
a kingdom, or Israel. And the year is 130 AD. Now, they spread all over Europe. They spread all over Europe. 130 AD, mark that year. Now, when they,
was that time, is a person, Jesus Christ, really exists at that time, or is a fictional
he had
human
already
being?
died. When I say AD, they say
Yes, that means he has died.
Yeah, he had
But
died already.
I believe there's nobody exists like that, like Jesus Christ.
Yes,
Because
but
the
now,
Jews themselves doesn't even know who is called Yeshua, Jesus Christ. What they know is
exactly,
Yeshua being Pantera. That is Jesus, son of
exactly,
Pantera,
exactly,
that exists in
exactly,
history, not the Jesus of the gospel.
exactly. Now, what I'm
Thank
giving you is what has been documented. But I've
Yes.
said that the Jews say Jesus Christ was not their Messiah.
Of course.
The Jews do not believe in Jesus Christ.
And we Africans, we don't believe in Jesus Christ, especially me,
Yes.
myself, Nandip.
And the Jews are not waiting for Jesus Christ. The Jews are waiting for their own Messiah.
Messiah, yes.
They have their own Messiah they are waiting for, but not Jesus Christ. Now,
Jesus
I'm giving
Christ.
a history, as it has been documented that the Romans destroyed and finished the kingdom that the Israelites owned. Now, AD 130, they spread all over. Today, those are the people who became European Jews. Those are the people who became African Jews. They ran away to so many countries.
Do we have African Jews?
We have Jews who are Arabs like them, but they went to Africa. So I call them African Jews.
African
that
Jews,
went to
yes.
that went to Egypt, that went to Morocco, that went to Ethiopia.
And
Because
Algeria.
Yeah, because initially these are Arabs. These are Arabs. Jews are Arabs. I always say that.
Yes,
Jews
are Arabs. Yes,
now,
yes.
They ran away to save themselves from danger. The Romans were killing them. Now, when they ran away, whenever they went, they remained worshipping their own God. They remained observing their own Sabbath. They remained believing their own Torah. The Jews are the only people in the world who are proud of their own culture, who are proud of their own God. No one can change a Jew from becoming a Jew, because Jews, to be a Jew, it means that we have to follow everything to the dot. So the Jews are very proud of their own culture and their own religion.
Yes, that's Mr. Kato. That's why we African, we are cultural people, we are traditional people. We have to believe in our own culture and tradition. We are not Christians, we are not Muslims, we are not Arabs, we are Africans. Bantu, we are Bantu. Yes. We are a Qibla.
So, I will carry on. Now, I've said that the Jews are chased from their land by the Romans, and they spread all over the world. They go to North Africa, they go to the rest of Europe, they go to Germany, they go to France, they go to US, they go to UK, they move across because they are saving themselves. But at that time, there was no UK as it is today. At that time, there was no France as it is today. These were different kingdoms, different places. There were no UK in 130. There was no France in 130. But the place was there, people were there, but different names. There was no Iraq, there was no Iran, there was Mesopotamia. There was Mesopotamia.
There's no America.
There was no America at all, but there was the place where America is today. Now the Jews spread all over the world. because AD 130 they were slaughtered, they were killed. Now, that's how they left their land. Now, when they go away, things happen in between. Now, look at this. 19th century comes, and there happens to be world wars. There happen to be world wars. But again, even before that, I will take you back that 1831, there is a crisis in Egypt. There is a leader called Amin Pasha in North Africa. And Amin Pasha becomes so strong that the Egyptians overran Levante. Levante is the place where the Jews came from initially, that very big place. It's the place they thought is their own. Now, when Amin Pasha and the Egyptians overran the Levante, that place, they took it over and then covered it with Egyptian Arabs. You get it? 1830 and 1841. Egyptian Arabs were conquering now that whole place called, as we call it today, Middle East. In fact, Nandipo, I should tell you, in reality, there is no Middle East.
At that particular point in time.
It is a creation. No, Middle East as a place is there, but the word Middle East is a creation of imperialists.
Yes, by the West.
Yes, Middle East. If someone says there's the Middle East, ask him, show me Middle West, show me Middle North, show me Middle South. It's not there. It's a creation. Initially, I repeat this on camera, initially, the so-called Middle East was part of Africa.
Yes, I've read something like that before.
Exactly.
Yes, even Saudi Arabia is part of Africa.
Yes, that entire stretch was Africa.
Yes, it's Africa.
Some people even go ahead and say that where Israel and Palestine are today was part of the greater East Africa.
Yes.
I repeat this on camera, was part of the greater East Africa. And
I agree with you completely.
North Africa was not separated from the present-day Israel. It was one place. It was one place. And I'm going to be showing you maps at the end of the day, but not now then. First, wait, let me first explain. Now, that whole stretch was one area. Africa as it today, someone could simply cross from Egypt to the present-day Israel, to the present-day Palestine, and to Jordan. It was the same place. There was nothing called Middle East at all in the history. It was created by the imperialists to have their own agenda. Now, having said that, Amin Pasha takes over, and that place now has Egyptian leaders in it. Remember, Egyptians are Arabs also. Now, after some time, the Ottoman Empire also became so strong. The Ottoman Empire
from Turkey.
From Turkey became so strong that it took over Levante. That place I call Levante. It took it over, and that's the so-called Middle East today. It took it over. Now, when Ottoman Empire comes in, also found some Jews that have been left, and it killed thousands of Jews because the Ottoman Empire was Islamic. They were forcing Jews to become Muslims. It is said that they killed thousands.
That means at that particular point in time, the Islamic religion has been established by Muhammad.
Muhammad, yes, exactly. It has been established by Muhammad. Now, what happened is that the Ottoman Empire took over and forced Jews to become Muslims. Now, whoever is a Jew,
that means the Jews of the Palestinians become Muslims, and the Jews of the Jordan, Syria, and all that become Muslim.
Yes, all of them.
That means all of them, they are Jews, but they are Muslims.
All of them. Yes, all of
them. They are
Jews.
They are Jews.
Others were not Jews by tribe, but they were Arabs. Okay? They were Assyrians, there were Medians and others. There were other tribes. But the Jews, when I say the Jews were within their own place. They have been there. Some of them had been able to survive and remain and regroup. But whoever was found in their own land by the Ottomans was forced to convert to Islam.
Islam, yeah.
Yes, and whoever refused to convert to Islam, as we call it, was killed. Now, the Ottoman Empire, of course, they talk about Muhammad and others, the Islamists, forced the Jews to pay taxes.
Comrade.
Yes.
Yes. We are told that Islam is the religion of peace. How comes if you don't want to convert and you are killed? Can you explain on that before you continue?
Islam has never been a religion of peace. Islam, I repeat it for everyone, Islam has never been a religion of peace. When the Muslims took over and when the Ottoman Empire became so strong, the Muslims, the jihadists, were killing other Arabs, including Jews, for refusing Allah.
Yes, I can remember that most of the Arabs, they are pagans. And all the pagans, when they receive the religion of the Prophet, were killed. And I was told, I meant to understand that the Kaaba is the house of the gods, like my name, Nandi.
Exactly.
That is, the gods are buried. And Kato is a gods in Africa. That means the Kaaba is a house of many hundreds of gods there, and they convert it into their what? Yes, continue, sir. Continue.
Exactly. Now, the Arabs who were there, I'm just saying that the Jews are simply a tribe among the Arabs. But there were other Arabs. Now, the Ottoman Empire takes over. Islam has become very strong. Muhammad, the so-called prophet of peace, forced everyone to convert to Islam through jihad, and whoever refused was killed. For 12 years of Muhammad's jihadism, thousands of Jews were killed. And those who refused to convert were made to pay a tax called Aziza. They were made to pay a tax called Aziza. Anyone can look at it, look it up.
Yes.
Aziza was the tax.
Yeah. I've read about that. Yes, you have to pay a tax, a heavy tax. You have to pay.
Heavy tax.
With that tax, will make you to convert on your own to Islam. Yes, if you cannot be able to pay. Yes.
The tax was too big that you have to convert to Islam. Apart from that, the Jews were given yellow clothes to identify them because they were refusing to leave Judaism to go and convert to Islam. They were given clothes of yellow color to identify them. Besides that, they were given a bell, like a dog. You know a bell? You put a dog, that round bells, you put a bell on someone's leg and someone's hand.
Like a cow. Like a cow. Put a bell.
Or a dog. That whenever they could pass, a bell would ring, and the yellow color would be and say, a Jew, a Jew, a Jew. Jews were persecuted. This is what I'm saying. They were killed, they were enslaved in their own land by the Muslims, by the Ottoman Empire, by the Assyrians. Almost all empires that took over killed Jews, including Emini Pasha and Emini Pasha Ali and others from Egypt. All of them have never excused Jews. All of them have been killing Jews. So Jews were an endangered people. That everyone that came, why are they endangered? They were refusing to convert. They were refusing to convert. So everyone was killing them. Now, what happened is that fast forward, the World War happens. We are now in the 19th century. You go to the 20th century.
1914.
Yes, the World War happens.
1914.
1914. When the World War happens, the Jews are some of the best fighters in the world. The Jews are some of the best people who make ammunition, guns. They are very intelligent. The Jews were able to crack a code that revealed the secrets of the Germans in World War. The Jews cracked a machine that revealed the secrets of the Germans in the World War. And they gave the secrets to Americans and the British. It begins to tell you why the Germans, why Hitler finally had to take revenge on the Jews and killed 6 million Jews. Where does it come from? It comes from First World War, where the Jews cracked the enigmatic machine and revealed the secrets of the Germans and other forces. Now, Germans took it upon themselves to revenge against the Jews. And remember that the Jews were already in Germany. They had run away from their countries for a long time ago. Now, Hitler took that chance and said, I'm going to punish the Jews for betraying us in the World War. Remember that in the World War, Germany had been forced to pay reparation. Germany had been enslaved, had been impoverished in the World War. And who had betrayed them? It were the Jews. The Jews had cracked the enigmatic machine and given secrets to the Americans, to the French, and to the UK soldiers. Now, the Jews had allied with the Europeans. Now, Germany and Hitler takes revenge and kills 6 million Jews in concentration camps. Jews were burned like you can burn a bird. They were roasted. They were tortured. Young adults. You know, there's a movie called Escape from Sobiba. You can simply watch it.
And this is called genocide.
Yes, and this is what we call a Holocaust.
Holocaust, thank you.
So
Holocaust is more than genocide.
That the Jews have never gotten peace. From AD 30, they have been killed, they have been persecuted, they have been haunted by everyone. Almost everyone was hating on the Jews. Now, because of that, the Jews got friendship with the Americans from 1917, with the UK people, United Kingdom, and with the French, among others. Now, they got allies, America, France, and then UK. Of course, Canada came on, Australia, and other countries. Now, they became friends to the Jews. Remember, Jews were already staying in those countries. Now, what happens? 1917, there's what we call the Balfour Declaration. Balfour Declaration. There was a declaration called also a Sykes-Picot Agreement. Now, these agreements were made between the French and the British to favor the Jews. Now, they promised them in this declaration and agreements that they were going to give them their original home. Because the Jews were asking in the World War, if we help you to fight the war, what are you going to give us? And they told them, for us, what we want you to take us back where we were before we were chased. Take us back to our promised land, where our ancestors were, AD 130. Now, a problem came. The Jews helped America, helped Britain, helped France, and others to win world wars. And now a time came when they had to be paid back. And the Jews were the leading bankers in UK. The Jews were the guys leading the banking sector in the United Kingdom. Anyone can Google it. The Jews were the guys leading the banking sector in America. The Jews were the best businessmen of the time. They were the best thinkers of the time. Now, it means that the Jews had the economy of these countries in their hands. The Jews were good at making ammunition, making guns and bullets. Up to date, the Jews are so good in technology when it comes to ammunition. Now, they had America in their pocket, they had UK in their pocket. Now, they told these guys, what you want is to go back home. And therefore, a religion, not a religion, a movement called Zionism began. Zionism began. We want to go.
So what is Zionism? Because I've been hearing the word Zionism. What does that mean?
Promised land.
Oh, that's what it means.
Promised land. In a brief. I'm giving a brief.
That's what.
Yes.
Okay, that's what it means.
Yes.
Okay.
People who believe that they own a specific piece of land and they must go back. This is our promised land. Zionism. It's a good thing. For them, they want to go back. And now, that kind of thing
comrade, before you continue, so we, Africa, where is our original home?
Our original home is where you are.
Yes. Thank you.
My home is Uganda, and Uganda is where mankind began. So that's my original home.
My original home is Lantang Tarok.
Yes.
Yes, Plateau State, Nigeria. That's where I am. That's why I was stay put.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, I take you back to 1917, Balfour Declaration. They have promised the Jews to give them their own home. But remember, by 1917, Palestinians already have been in that place for thousands of years.
Yes.
Just think about it. Someone has been in a place for 1,000 years.
Yes.
And you come and say, please, this is my place, go away.
Yes. It's not going to be possible.
Is it?
It's not going to be possible.
It's not going to be possible.
I won't allow it.
Now, let me take you back to history. 1947. 1947, the UN declared through a petition plan and created, by stroke of a pen, UN created a country called Israel. How? The Ottoman Empire had been weakened, and that place we call Middle East or Palestine, to be specific, Palestine, was given to Britain. I repeat this. Ottoman Empire is weakened, Turkey is weakened, and Turkey was controlling where Palestine is right now, where Israel is right now. Now, when Turkey is weakened, the Ottoman Empire is weakened, that place, by stroke of a pen, is given to Britain. And Britain is United Kingdom. Now, Britain says, I own this piece of land where Palestine is, and I'm going to divide it into two. Remember that the British had promised the Jews to give them their own land.
Yes.
And the British now owned Palestine. So they divided it into two by force and said, this place remains for Israel. They firstly put them there, and then they say, Palestinians, we are going to stay with the West Bank and Gaza and a few other areas there. Now, 1947, Israel is created. I'm going to show you a map. There was no Israel before 1947.
Yes, I understand that too.
It was not there. By stroke of a pen, UN declaration puts Israel in place. And the partition of Palestine starts into two. One side is called the Arab state. Another side is called the Jewish state. And they said, we are going to have a two-state nation policy. Two states are going to exist in one area. One area is going to be for Arabs. You can call them Palestinians. Another area is going to be for Jews. And you can call them
Israeli.
Now, a confusion began. Arabs rejected the proposal.
Why?
Arabs, I repeat, Arabs from Jordan, Lebanon, Syria,
Turkey,
Egypt, Iraq, Iran, Egypt. rejected, all of them rejected Israel. Why? They saw Israel as an intruder. Number two, Israel was a foreigner because they haven't been there for 1,000 years.
Of years, of course.
They were in Europe. A few had stayed. A few, like thousands, had stayed, but they were not political. They were quiet. They were peaceful. They had stayed. They were worshiping their Judaism. They were peaceful people who had stayed in the area, but they were there.
Also converted to Islam.
Yes, but some by 1930, they were practicing their Judaism now, after the Second World War. They were there, but peacefully living with Palestinians, and there was no war. Now, the Americans and the English and the French had promised the Jews their promised land, as I told you. 1947, they divide that land, Palestine, into two, and by force, because Arabs refused completely. Now, the Americans and the UK government put Jews on planes. They put Jews on boats. They take them in thousands back to Israel. They take them in thousands. They are getting out of Europe. These are European Jews. Therefore, they are European citizens. They have passports.
Now, comrade, before you continue,
yes,
you know, this is a panelist. You remember our ancestors, our forefathers, we are taken also into slavery to America.
Yes.
Yes, the Mexican, the British. Then they take them there to work as slaves in plantation and all that.
Yes.
So, do they take our ancestors back to Africa? Because I don't know that history yet. Maybe you can enlighten me.
They did. They took them back to Liberia. Have you heard me?
Hello? Yeah, no, I didn't.
Have you heard me? Have you heard me? Yes, they did.
Hello?
Nandipo, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. Yes.
You asked a question. That is they take
yes,
back,
before you continue. Our ancestors back, our parents, our grandparents back to Africa before?
I'm answering that very question. I say yes, the Americans, the black people in America revolted and said they wanted to go back home. And they were taken back to a country now called Liberia.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. Never forget that history. There is history now. American black people who wanted to go back to Africa, we are taken to a place called Liberia, the land of the free.
Yes, and they were repatriated back to Africa, and there is no war.
Yes.
And everybody lived peacefully.
Exactly. Now you have got
why now why
is
the Arab against the Jews coming back?
Because they hate them.
Why would they hate people that stayed there for thousands of years?
Because they don't recognize them as part of them.
They
don't recognize them as part of them. Yet for us, when our friends came from America and went to that part of Liberia, Sierra Leone, people there welcomed black people back home.
Yes, and there's no war. There's no war.
There was
yes, and Africa, here in Africa, we have a lot of resources, especially in Liberia. There's gold, there's a lot of things, but there's no war going on.
The other thing I can point out, why Arabs refused Jews, is because they have a history of conflict. Remember that the Jews refused to worship Islam.
Allah, that is Muhammad God.
Exactly. They refused to follow Muhammad. They were killed. They were made to pay taxes. They were made to be slaves in their own land. This is why they were forced to run away to Europe. They had refused to convert to Islam. No, Muslims knew that Jews will never become Muslims. Number two, why they hated them, the Jews came back saying that they own Jerusalem. Yet the Muslims also say they own Jerusalem.
Now, excuse me, Mr. Kato, that's me. The Jerusalem were built by the Arabs.
Jerusalem
the mosques, yes, the mosques built by the Arab,
no,
by the Muslims,
by Jews.
Oh,
by Jews.
I was told that there's a big mosque or something that was built at that particular. Was it built by the Jews at that time, or what?
Now,
because it says there's a mosque. Yeah,
I'm answering that. I'm answering that.
Okay.
There is a mosque which is historical and belongs to Arabs. But also, there is what we call the Temple Mount. There is what we call the Temple Mount. Now, both the Jews and Arabs claim the Temple Mount. And they take it as the holiest of all places. One place I repeat is called Temple Mount. Now, the Jews came back saying Temple Mount is ours.
Belongs to them.
And the Arabs said, we built it, it's ours. And Temple Mount is now a source of conflict in Jerusalem.
Contention.
Yes, contention. Now, Jerusalem became a place of contention because all of them take it as a holy land, and no one wants to leave the other to share it. But let me take you back to the history. Now, Arabs have rejected the proposal for the Jews to come, and the Jews come by force. What happens? 1948, there is a war. Israel is quoted. There is a war. Arab countries combine to fight Israel, and Israel defeats them. And when Israel defeats them, it takes over other lands now. In that war, Israel defeated them and take away Mount Sinai and Golan Heights. It captured land that actually belonged to Egypt in that war, and Egypt was beaten down. The Jews threw their artilleries and hit Egypt, hit Lebanon, hit Syria, all in one day. They paralyzed, the Jews were able to beat Arabs all hands down in a matter of days. And Arabs surrendered and said, we have nothing to do. The Jews have come, they have come to stay. Now, they stayed, and they have even taken more territory. I said about Sinai, or Sinai as they call it. They have taken Golan Heights and all that land. They have taken they have taken Gaza, they have taken West Bank. They had begun to actually widen their territory from what had been given to them by the declaration. Now they had gotten much more territory. Now, Arabs never forgave Jews, because they still believe that Temple Mount and Jerusalem belongs to them. After they have been there for 1,000 years. You think about it, Nandipo. You have been in a place for 1,000 years, and someone comes and says, this is my place. How do you accept,
I will accept it?
You have been there
I will not accept it.
Years.
I will never accept it.
You will never accept it. That's why Arabs say, we shall die defending this land. Now, what happens is this: that
Kato, before you continue, did you see what the Arabs are doing to protect the land they live on for thousands, that is for centuries? Is it a bad thing or a good thing?
It was a good thing.
Of course.
That was nationalism, but it was selfish.
Yes. Of course, it's also selfish, because we in Africa, listen, the way you explained to me in what is Sierra Leone, we in Africa, we are not selfish. Yes, to your explanation now, it seems to me the Arab people are selfish.
I repeat,
Africans are not. Yes.
Exactly. Africans.
Yes, Arabs are selfish. Africans, they are not selfish.
I repeat,
they receive their brothers. They receive their brothers wholeheartedly, and we are living in peace. Exactly. Except in the early 1990s, when Charles Taylor and this person, what do you call it, Samuel Doe, decided to cause a problem there in Sierra Leone. If not, Africans, we are peaceful. We are more than peaceful than the Arabs. Thank you, sir. Continue.
Thank you, sir. I repeat with you, Africans are the most peaceful people. Africans are very tolerant. That's why we welcomed foreigners to come and actually ruled us. Arabs fight back. Now, why I say Arabs are selfish? Because these Arabs knew that by history, Jews have a legitimate right
to that place.
They were in that place. Jews are their cousins. Jews are their nephews. Jews are their brothers and sisters. They have the same DNA.
Yes.
I should repeat this. A Jew and an Arab are the same.
They are the same people.
They are the same people. They have the same DNA. But these Arabs are simply selfish. Why? Because they want Jerusalem and Temple Mount. They say it belongs to Allah. They say it's a holy place. And they are willing to do a jihad over it. Now, take you very fast as I conclude so that you can come in later and I'll go show you a few slides. Now, Europeans, remember that Jews are Europeans. Why?
Yes.
For thousands of years.
Yes, you say so. Yes.
Why?
For thousands of years, yes.
They have been in Europe. Therefore, they are Europeans. We call them European Jews.
Yes.
In fact, as I said today, as I speak today, when you go to Israel, almost every Jew you find there is having 2 passports. Is either an American, Canadian, Portuguese, Spanish, German, British, because they have been here before.
Yes. They
simply went back. They went back in 1947. Just recently, about 70 years ago. So where were they? They were in Europe. That's why these are Europeans. That's why you see some countries in Europe are concerned. These are their own citizens. You get it? Who simply went back as America
to their original land.
Exactly. As America may be concerned with whatever happens in Liberia. Why? The Liberians are Americans. They came from America.
Yes.
You get the mathematics?
Yes.
They came from
America. I agree with you. But they may carry 2 passports too, like the Jew, like the Israeli.
Exactly.
Yes. I agree with you. 100%.
Europe was concerned and they began having peace deals because the Arabs were attacking Jews almost on a daily.
They are very aggressive.
They're aggressive. And they are willing to commit suicide. They are very good at suicide bombing. They are very good at indoctrinating children to hate the Jews. Now, they were putting bombs on their bodies and attacking Jewish settlements on a daily.
And they would die.
They would die with numbers
for nothing.
Yes.
For nothing.
Now, what happened that Oslo in the Norway had what you call a peace deal in 1990. Oslo got the Jews and Arabs to sit together and have a peace deal. That peace deal did not last for many years because by 2000 it had been broken and they were war. By 2000 another peace deal was blocked in a place called Camp David
in America.
Anyway, yes. So again, that peace deal in Camp David also failed. Now the Jews, being fed up, began to defend themselves and decided to divide Gaza and West Bank away from Israel. They begin building a wall. They begin building a fence. Now, a system that is resembling to apartheid of South Africa began. You could find that Jews pass in different streets and Arabs pass in different streets. They don't share hospitals. They don't share schools. Apartheid started in Palestine between the Jews and the Arabs. Now, there was no peace resolution. There was conflict. Now, the Jews cordoned off Gaza. And Gaza is a small stretch. It's about 365 square kilometers. Now, they surrounded it with their own barbed wires, with their own fences, and they put their own tanks, their own soldiers, to the extent that Jews stop Arabs from going to worship. They have to search them. Remember that they share a mosque. Remember that some Jews are actually Arabs. Some Jews are not Jews, are not into Judaism. Some Jews are Arabs, some Jews are Christians, a few of them. But an Arab to go and worship.
Arabs, Mr. Kato, before you continue, when you mean by some Jews are Arab, you mean to say some Jews are Muslims?
No, sorry, I'm saying that some Jews are, of course, they are Arab, but some Jews are Muslims. And some Jews
Thank you.
are
That's
Christians.
what I want to know.
Just like you find that some Palestinians are worshipping Judaism, a few of them, and
some are Christians.
Are Christians.
Yes.
Now, because of insecurity, they are all fighting for one place called Jerusalem and for Temple Mount. Now, because of that, the military, which we call IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, does not allow Arabs to go to their mosque. They must search them as if you are searching a thief. Imagine going to pray and they search you with machines and hands and they bury you naked. Now, because of that, the Arabs resisted and said, we cannot be searched like dogs. This is our own land. This mosque, we built it. This mosque, our grandfathers built it. Why do you search us? And when they don't search them, they enter the mosque with guns and knives and cut Jews to death.
And started shooting everyone.
Yes. When they don't search them, they enter with guns and shoot everyone in the mosque. Now, a conflict of bloodbath never ended in Jerusalem. They are fighting over Temple Mount. They are fighting over Jerusalem. Two holy places. And at the same time, these places are the highest tourist earners. Remember, these places are not rich. They have no gold. The biggest asset is tourism.
What of Bethlehem? Where is Bethlehem?
Of course, it is in Israel. But the Jews, the Arabs, claim it. Now, they are fighting over the so-called holy places. Some holy places are in Palestine. Some holy places are in Israel. Yet, that place, the only biggest source of income is tourism. But the Jews are surviving.
Mr. Kato. Okay.
The Jews are surviving because of their technology. The Jews export technology, agriculture technology, ammunition. They are the best in making technology. That's why they are a big economy. You can ask what I wanted to ask. Ask me what you wanted to ask.
Yes, I said this tourism that they are talking about. If we Africans stop going to Jerusalem, Judah, or Bethlehem for tourism, they will not be fighting anymore. We are the ones that they will close it. We should stop going there so that there will be peace in Middle East.
Tell these stupid, hopeless Africans to stop going to Jerusalem and they will close shop. Yes. Because they won't have business. Now, 1973, there was a very big war. 1973, Arab countries combined the forces to come and wipe Israel off the face of the map. 1973. And Israel beat them to oblivion. Israel single-handedly defeated about 7 Arab states in 1973. Now, the beating was so thorough that Israel was bombing airports, was bombing all of them based in Israel, was bombing Egypt, was bombing all those places based in Israel. Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Turkey, all of them wanted to beat Israel. Israel beat them hands down. 1973. Now, since then, there have been a conflict, and it's a sort of apartheid in Israel. Bombing after bombing, shooting after shooting. There has been no peace. Now, fast forward, on the 7th day of October this year, 2023, Hamas which is an elected government of Gaza, attacked Israel. There was a party they were on, their religious party, remembering a certain God, and massacred about 400 people just right there. And it took over 200 Jews in captivity, including babies and young children of 12 years, including women of 8 years. Hamas took them back to Gaza as slaves, as captives on one day. And Hamas went ahead to attack the villages around that place. About 8 villages were attacked and people shot dead in their houses. I'm talking about shooting Jews, Israelites, in their houses. About 8 villages were attacked. Now, a total of over 1,000 Jews or Israelites were killed by Hamas. Hamas is the elected government of Gaza. Remember, Gaza and West Bank have different governments. But these governments are legitimate. Remember, Palestine is recognized as a legitimate country and Hamas as a legitimate political party. Yet America and the UK say Hamas is a terrorist group. But no way, and other countries have said, no, Hamas is a government and it's a political party. Now, there is a confusion. When Hamas attacked and killed Jews, remember, Jews have been killed all the years, as I've told you. Now, Jews stood up and said, enough is enough. Their president or prime minister called Netanyahu Benjamin, who has been a leader of the Jews for the last 16 years, and he was failing. They wanted to impeach him this very year. They were impeaching Netanyahu this very year because of corruption, because of failure. He's a weak leader. The Jews were tired of Netanyahu. Now, Netanyahu got a chance to come back and shine. And now, whatever Netanyahu is doing today, he's saving what we call saving face. Because the Jews, the Israelites, were chasing him from power. Now, he's using this chance to kill every Arab he can find.
Yes, every Palestinian he can find.
So that the Jews can forgive him of corruption.
Yes, of his sin, of his crime. He's a criminal.
He's a criminal, and actually he was changing the constitution of the Jews to give himself powers, and America was opposing him. And the Jews hate Netanyahu as I speak. Now, the attack on the 7th day of October simply saved Netanyahu from going down.
From everything. Yes, from his crimes.
People are saying we are forgetting about the bad things about Netanyahu is the savior now, because Netanyahu is a killer. He's a killer himself. He wants war. When you hear him talk, he wants war. Now, what Netanyahu has done so far in about 2 weeks, he has killed over 3,000 Palestinians in Gaza. In only
that is genocide.
It's a genocide. In only 2 weeks, Netanyahu and IDF have killed over 3,000 Palestinians in one place called Gaza, which is the smallest strip.
He must have to be prosecuted in the heck.
Yes, and simply look at this. They are calling it self-defense, but it is a genocide. It is a genocide, and I'm using this forum to say what IDF and Netanyahu are doing in Palestine is collective punishment. It's a genocide.
It's genocide. Yes, it's a genocide. It's a crime against humanity.
They have killed over 1,000 babies in 2 weeks.
It's wrong.
Over 1,000 babies in 2 weeks. Because a total of 3,000 Palestinians have been killed so far. Now, that is how bad the situation is. Finally, when I was watching, remember that Gaza has over 2.3 million people, a small place, 365 square kilometers.
A lot of people.
A lot of people in a smaller place. Now, when you bomb them, you can kill 50 in one missile, 100 in another missile. And these guys are launching missile after missile and hitting buildings after buildings. Now, they are killing people every day, and the entire world is quiet.
It's watching.
Why?
It's watching, and they are not. Nobody's saying anything.
Why? Because America and Biden are saying, we are supporting Israel. We are supporting Israel. They have a right to self-defense. Yes. But my question is, to what extent?
Yes, the extent is getting too much.
To what extent will IDF massacre babies, pregnant women every day in Gaza who have not lifted a finger to kill a Jew? The Hamas are the killers. And it's a small group of people. They are fighters. Why are you killing babies? Why are you killing children? Why are you killing women? The invalids, they have hit a hospital and killed Alaska and killed over 500 people in one missile shot. A hospital was put down with sick people, and over 500 people were killed in one attack. Now imagine Nandipu having one leg, you are on a drip in hospital, and then a bomb comes and finishes you. As I speak now, people in Gaza, right on their bodies, they put their names on their bodies because they know they're going to be killed. They want their bodies to be found. Children, I was watching a video where children put their names on their bodies to say, I am Isma, I am so and so, I'm Muhammad. In case I die, this is my name, this is my body. Because they are being killed every day, and the entire world is keeping quiet. I was watching news. The leader, the spokesperson of Hamas is called Osama Hamdan. Osama Hamdan said Hamas is a legitimate government, is a legitimate political party, and they are going to continue fighting the Jews until the last Jew drops.
How can that do that? This man, is it talking properly? As his people has been killed, he should find a way to make peace. Find a way to make peace, not to continue to fight the Jews.
Now you can see the stupidity of Hamas.
He's not thinking well.
Hamas says they are ending occupation now. They want occupiers out of their land. They are saying we want occupiers, and when they say occupiers, they mean Israel.
Yes, we understand that it's genuine, but you cannot do that with the life of your people. Your people has been killed.
I asked Osama Hamdan, to what extent are you willing to lose your own people because you hate Jews? Why do you hate Jews? Why don't you live alone? Why don't you coexist? Now listen to this. Colonel Peter Lina is the spokesperson of the IDF Defense, Israel Defense Ministry. The spokesperson is called Colonel Peter Lina. I was watching news, and Peter said that every single member of Hamas is going to pay by their own lives. You hear that statement? He said that every one of them is going to pay by their own lives. It means we are going to kill each and every member of Hamas. Netanyahu yesterday said that he's going to send ground forces, tanks, artillery tanks, missiles. They are going to send them on the ground. Foot soldiers. I saw foot soldiers being assembled. They have surrounded Gaza. Israel has surrounded Gaza like an enclave, like this. They are besieged. They are surrounded with tanks, with soldiers waiting to say attack. Now, they are attacking a place where there are women, where there are children, where there are elderly. These are 2.3 million people in a single small space. Hezbollah, who were the enemies of Israel, are in Lebanon, and they have warned they are going to attack. Hezbollah has over 100,000 soldiers ready to attack, and these are dangerous. Hezbollah is on the side of Hamas. Remember, they're Arabs. There's ISIS. The Syrians are waiting. Israel attacked and bombed parts of Turkey. Israel attacked and destroyed the airport of Syria, Aleppo, and others just a week ago. Now, Israel is attacking Turkey. Israel is attacking Syria, warning them, don't come. Egypt says, I'm on the defensive, is just watching. Egypt has refused to open its boundary. Ararat is closed. Now, that's where we are at the moment. That Syria, Jordan, Turkey, Lebanon are all watching and say, we are ready. If you want to attack on the ground, we are going to attack you. All of them are saying, do not attack. They are saying to Israel, do not go with underground forces. Stop the hitting. Stop the war. On the other hand, Biden and his US, the imperialists there, are saying we must give more money for Israel to continue attacking. It means that there is no sign of peace. Now, in a nutshell, my brother, that is the situation I've given the viewers today about why the conflict cannot end. Why? Because these brothers and cousins are fighting for holy places. And it's an existential war where someone wants to exist. And everyone says, this is my birthright. Now, that war becomes too hard. When Nandipu says, I was born here, and when Kato says, my ancestors were born here, and everyone says, I'm right, and everyone says, this holy place belongs to me, you cannot finish that war. That war can only be finished through a peaceful resolution. It can be only finished by negotiation, by sitting down on the table and you agree to disagree to remain as brothers and sisters. Because they can fight and finish themselves. Remember that Hamas has the entire Arabs supporting them. They are quiet, but they support them. Remember that Israel has almost, not all, almost the entire West supporting them. Israel has Europeans supporting them. Almost the governments, not the people. Separate the people from the government. The people in Europe don't support the war. But most governments in Europe support Israel. Why? They think that Israel is an advancement of Christianity. That's why Canada, Australia, Germany, UK, USA, the government support Israel. Why? Because Christianity, they think Christianity joins them. They think Jerusalem is a real place that belongs to Christians. Now that war becomes too hard to finish. The only solution is a two-state solution, where two states can again go back to the drawing board and say, let us live in peace together as cousins. But without a two-state solution, where everyone puts down the guns and they forgive each other and they hug each other like brothers, there will never be peace in that region. I want to sign out from there. I want to show you a few photos. Our viewers, Dennis, show us a few photos in 5 minutes and shall be done because we have overshot our time, but the topic was interesting, not so?
Very interesting. Very interesting. Well done.
That is Sunday Musings for today, Kato Mukasa. Of course, let us see some of these images, Dennis. People can see what I've been talking about. There was no Israel. Look at that map. There was no Israel before 1947. Dennis, I think you have logged us out. Yes. Look at that map. There was no Israel before 1947. Then go ahead. I'm just giving them the history. I'm giving them evidence with maps. Then go ahead, please. Look what the apartheid in Jerusalem as we speak, in Israel and Palestine. Look at how they have divided themselves. Look at how the roads are demarcated. This is for the Jews, these are for Arabs, the schools, everything. This is apartheid, as if it was in South Africa. As it was in South Africa. Please continue, Dennis. Look at that stretch, which shows you the places under contestation: Gaza, Sinai, Golan Heights. All those places are shown on that map. Look at that map. Look at the stretch where people are being killed. That's how
the one with green, light green.
Yes.
Yes.
I can send you these maps. I have them. You can observe them more. But I wanted the
yes more so that I can zoom them more.
Yeah. Now all these countries you see in blue, all those countries in blue support Palestine.
Seriously.
All those countries, as you see them, are saying that Palestine is an independent state.
Yeah,
all those countries you see. I didn't make that map. You can Google it. Anyone can Google it. Almost every citizen of the world say Palestine is a country of its own. It must be given their freedom.
That means everyone in Africa is supporting the Palestine.
Yes, they are
that
saying
is a country. Yes.
In terms that is a country. Those are two different things.
Yes, Palestine is a country. Yes.
People agree that this is a country of its own.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that they support Hamas, no. But they are saying this country is there rightly.
Yes, of course.
This man here says that in Jerusalem, Arabic is the language. You can be a Christian, but you speak Arabic. You can be a Muslim, you speak Arabic. You can be a Jew, you speak Arabic.
You can be a pagan, you can speak Arabic.
Look at those bombs. Look at those images. Look at those bombs.
The child running away.
Running away. That's how they are suffering there. Look at that photo of peace. This is what we say.
Mr. Kato, immediately I saw this picture, I have a ghost bombs in my body.
Exactly.
Because of the love of those children, the Palestinians.
The children. Look at the children.
Yes, holding hands, you know.
And the
Palestinian children. Yes, holding hands together. I have a ghost bombs in my body right now.
Now, look at the hate in that map.
Yes.
Look at how they are hating Jews.
The Jew, yes.
This is
the
bad.
The leaders are the problems.
The leaders are the problem. It's the politicians. It's Netanyahu and his politicians.
They are very arrogant. They are the one causing problems. Yes.
Hamas
and
is
the
Netanyahu is the
Hamas and Netanyahu.
Nandipo, look at that photo. That is where Jews first went when they came from Europe.
Oh.
Those were their tents.
Yes, they live in camps.
They lived in camps before they built.
That's serious. That's
now,
look we don't have to.
They don't have to forget where they came from.
Yes.
Look at the next photo. Look at the love between these people. This is what we say. Let us have peace between the Jews and the
Israel, the Arabs. Yes.
Look at that photo of a baby,
a child.
All those are dead bodies of children.
The Hamas are very arrogant, and Netanyahu also is a bloodthirsty president.
Now, in that photo, the photo that I'm going to follow, I want people to know that not every Jew supports Netanyahu. In fact, many Jews are against Netanyahu's death campaign. And they are saying, not in our name.
Not in our name.
Jews are peaceful people. Jews are peaceful people. But they are being raided by people who are so hungry, so angry, so dangerous. But Jews are peaceful people. You see, they are campaigning in Capitol Hill in the US, saying he is not our president, he is not our prime minister, he doesn't represent us. Then very fast the slides, please. I want to read those ones. Just the images now, then we conclude. Just the images, please. Just continue. The point I'm making here is that Jews want peace.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
Jews
want to live peacefully.
They want
with their
to live
neighbors.
Peacefully, but the politicians want war.
Yes.
And I told you that Jews are against Zionism.
Zionists, yes.
Because then
yes, I can see
we
it.
must stay here, we must stay here, we are the supreme, we are the founders, this mosque belongs to us,
No,
this Jerusalem belongs to
it
us.
cannot be like that.
Jews are against Zionism. Look at that building being bombed, carpet on the ground. That woman was gotten as a captive when the Hamas attacked Israel, and she was released 2 days ago, 3 days ago, she was released. Hamas even released 2 prisoners and told the world that we don't want to kill them, we want to kill the soldiers. Now, in that photo, all those names there are for Israelis that were captured by Hamas and are in captivity. That wall has photos. This is a journalist.
So that the Israeli, so that the Israeli will know that their people are with them.
Exactly. Now, this is the Prime Minister of Palestine. And he has been saying it's at a loss of words. It's the other part of West Bank, which hasn't been attacked. Please continue. I was watching news. This is the spokesperson of Israel. He says they are going to fight until the last Hamas person is defeated. It's called Irion Levy, Israel government spokesperson. I was watching news and I took that photo there. He says they are going to kill and the last Hamas person. And this man is called Sheikh Menki. It's called Mufti Menki. He's a very popular Muslim. He says, may Allah remove Israel from earth. Can you imagine that?
Yes. What kind of prayer is that?
What kind of stupid prayer is that? That Mufti Menki is a terrorist.
Yes, I believe so.
Mufti Menki is a terrorist. If you want to fight Jews and kill all of them, you were terrorist.
Yes, let him go to the Palestinian and fight. He should not be staying in his house and ask for that and fight. He should not be staying in his house and ask for other people to go and fight.
Yeah, so there is a genocide. I agree. There is a genocide in Palestine. All of us are condemning it as humans.
Yes, we don't like it.
The genocide in Palestine. Stop the genocide.
We want to enjoy this peaceful world. Everybody wants to live and happy.
Jew stands with Palestine. I stand with Gaza. These are Jews who say we stand with Palestine.
Kato, I was made to understand that there's a lot of Jews in Palestine up to now. And they are not happy with what is going on.
Exactly. Look at this photo.
Yes.
Wait a bit. Look at this photo. In this photo, America is the one funding Israel to come and bomb Palestine.
I can see.
And that's what America, stop killing Palestinians.
And the Palestinians, they are writing that we need help.
Yes. And they are saying, you can see that photo? Netanyahu and Biden.
And the Biden, yes.
Because Biden went to Israel.
And I can see like 3 days ago with a lot of
you can see protests.
White House.
People protesting in the US, they are saying stop bombing Palestine. Thousands of them. They have been protesting here in the UK. Thousands of them are saying stop killing Palestinians. Look at that photo, you can even cry. Look at that child, that baby.
Yes.
How would you kill that baby?
Yes.
A baby says, is even waving, bye-bye, bye-bye, and you are killing that baby. Say no to war. Say no to war. That's what that image there say. No to war, no to war. What does the America do? American government is sweeping every dirt behind under the fucking
under human rights.
Yes.
You can see. And I believe the United Nations also, they are not doing anything.
Hypocrites.
Idiots. Sorry to using this word on TV.
What is happening in Gaza today is the same thing that happened in Germany at that camp called Auschwitz. Because in Gaza today, it's a concentration camp. People are being killed like cockroaches.
Yes. And you can see the concentration camp just look like a coffin.
There's no difference between what the Germans, the Nazis did to what the IDF is doing to Gaza. And we are saying as Humanist TV Africa, we are saying stop the war. No time for ceasefire.
That's
Yeah.
this is not as unacceptable.
Yes. And America says no ceasefire, continue fighting. And for us, we are saying ceasefire now.
Now, yes,
We are saying ceasefire now.
fire
Stop
now.
fighting now.
The humanists are saying ceasefire now.
Yeah. Dennis, thank you so much for those. Those are enough, Dennis.
Thank,
I'm so happy for this show. Let us go back to the screen. We say bye-bye. Thank you so much. It has been a nice talk show.
yes, thank
Nandipu,
you, thank you,
I want you to
thank you so
say
much.
your last statement on this show. Of course, we shall have a different
Yes,
show today. Your
of
conclusion.
course. Yes, my conclusion. Thank you,
Mm.
Katu, for bringing up this topic, the war,
Mm.
that is the history of war in Israel and Palestine. I've been
Mm.
reading about this for a very long time. All this boiled down to what? Religion. Religion is the cause of all conflict, war, death in the world. So if we can
Yes.
be able to have peace, if we can, create love to one another, no matter what religion you belongs to,
Yes.
peace reigns, and peace can give us long life in this earth. So
Yes.
religion is the cause of everything. Hunger,
Mm.
death, starvation, diseases. Religion is all the cause. So
Exactly.
we need
The problem is
peace.
religion.
Religion. We need peace. We need peace. The Palestine and the Israel should cease fire.
Yes.
Enough of this bloodshed. Enough of this going on in Palestine. So I thank you so much, Congbread. I'm so happy because of lack of time, because I have a lot of questions to ask you. Because of
Yes. We shall
there's
have
no
it. We
time.
shall have another show
Yes,
on this very
yes.
show. On this
Part
very
two.
topic.
Yes, yes.
We
We
shall
need
have part
part
two.
two of this.
Dean Kruger,
Yes,
thank you so much. Dean Kruger says
yes,
religion divides people. He's from South Africa. And of course, Miss Breeze from Nigeria says that we should also talk about wars in Africa, Biafra, Togoland, Cameroon. Yes, we shall also
yes.
have a
Well,
program on
We'll talk.
wars
Yes,
in
we'll talk
Africa.
about that.
We
Yes,
shall
yes.
have
In
that.
Africa, especially Nigeria.
Biafra and all that. I've made research. I will give you that in one of the episodes. Nandipo, my brother, thank you so much. Dean Kruger, Miss Bliss, and everyone who was watching us, thank you so much. See you in the next one.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye bye.